Hi, beautiful soul. We're looking at the energy forecast for September 2024. I'm Mystic Miya Moksha, and we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to look at the spiritual energies and the physical energies and how this looks directly in your life for more of the awakened light worker folk, and then also like the general collective, the general population. So we're going to get a little bit into these energies. I'm going to do 3 main energies for September, and let's jump right into it. What's one of the bigger energies happening in September? Kundalini rising. Ignite your passion for life. All right, so we kind of have this energy where Pluto is going into Capricorn for one last time. I have this little calendar I've been using for the Pluto transit this year, since it's going back in Capricorn one last time before it goes into Aquarius for the next 18 years. A lot of the cardinal signs, so Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn especially, feeling the last 15, 16 years of your life being very difficult. That's going to be very alleviated. You're going to feel a lot of like a last test kind of energy in this fall season from September to November, basically the rest of this year. You're going to be really tested to see if you can come into your own. Can you be who you authentically are now? You've probably been tested a lot in the last few years when Pluto has been going back and forth. And I've been associating Pluto's transit with the soul mission of the collective of light workers. And I've been kind of saying for a long time now that starting January 2025, light workers are getting to work on your soul mission. And so this period of time from September to November, you're going to see yourself get set up, whether that's in your business, whether that's in your home, your finances, with your stability, security, your soul family, your support system, your goals in life, your purpose. Like, you're going to see these things come up in the next few months, starting this month of September. And you're going to really have a lot of your passion come through. So this is going to be a lot of fun for a lot of light workers who have been kind of dealing with this energy, such heavy inner work energy for such a long period of time. You're going to feel like things lightening up. You're going to feel like you're going to be able to have fun again. You're going to have your passion reignited. That might be through a romantic interest. That might be through like a line of work that you're really passionate about, a hobby, some sort of new topic or new kind of interest that comes in for you that you really want to put your whole heart and soul into. A lot of people are stepping into their soul mission. They're stepping into their life purpose. They're stepping into their true authentic energies. And so you're going to see a lot of light workers, especially people who are further along in the journeys, really light up at this time. But the general collective as well. It's just that this is kind of like, if this is the same energy hitting the whole collective, but depending how far along you are in your journey, if you've done a lot of inner work, this is a prime time for you to get kind of into your life purpose. The age of Aquarius, that's a great awakening. So you're going to see a lot of people go through a lot of their heavy, intense inner work during that time. But the people who have gone through it during this past Pluto transit in Capricorn, and a lot of your awakening during that time, the last like 20 years or so, you're gonna see yourself come into your true authentic life and your true authentic purpose. And it's a period of fun. You're gonna get tested a little bit, but it's gonna be easy for you to pass those tests, because you're gonna be confronted with people in your life, family, friends, people you've known for a long time, people you haven't seen for a long time, or just even strangers. And you're gonna be tested to see, can you be your true authentic self? And it's gonna be easy for you, because this is the last test. You're gonna pass with flying colors, beautiful soul. But just to let you know that, yeah, like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be easy to pass these tests, because you've been tested so much, especially in these past few years when Pluto has been going kind of back and forth, and the last bit of the Pluto and Capricorn energy. You've been really tested, right? For the last several years. You've seen profound changes after doing a long period of inner work and learning and getting the lessons down. Light workers tend to learn a lot of lessons earlier in life or in a concentrated period of time. And this is kind of your test. It's going to be easy. You're going to actually enjoy it because you're going to see all these things kind of come through now. The things that you love, what all this hard work was for, you're going to start seeing that manifest now in your life. Sorry if I'm talking really loudly. There's a bunch of landscaping going on just as soon as I hit record for this reading. So I think that's kind of my test right now as my first reading in this new format. But nothing's going to deter me. I know where I'm going, where the collective is going in this next chapter of our journey. So inner temple, there we go. Inner temple. Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Yeah. So there's this definite energy of like listening to what you know is the truth, listening to what you know is the right thing for you to do. And it's going to be different for different people. Not everyone's meant to live the same life and not everyone's meant to live the same way. And yet we're living in this cookie cutter kind of life, trying to fit ourselves in this kind of mold that society has kind of made for us. And it's kind of like stepping in out of that and stepping into your true self. And so let's see how this is going to look for you physically. How's this going to manifest for you in the physical? Pleasure. I told you, you're going to really enjoy this time. And I mean it. Like, I feel like stepping into the Capricorn energy one last time. Capricorn being, energy of work hard, play hard. Like, I feel like you've worked really, really, really incredibly hard, light worker. And this is you getting the rewards for your hard work. You're going to see the efforts pay off. You're going to see the opportunities come in. You're going to see recognition for the changes you've made and the kind of work that you do and the value you bring to society. So you're going to see a lot of that, light workers. And for those of you who are just awakening or getting into that energy or helping those around you kind of awaken, it's kind of like when you go through that spiritual awakening, at first you just feel so much pleasure and happiness, recognizing there's a higher power out there and recognizing that there's energy that connects everything, and you're kind of in that moment of like, wow, like everything's connected, like there's a divine purpose, and you're kind of on a high, you're on cloud 9 and you're just kind of like so happy to feel connected, and you kind of go through cycles of that until you feel fully like nothing's going to shake this belief that there is a higher power, right? That energy of like just awakening, you're going to see the rest of the collective go through that. If you're not going through it and you're further along in the journey, you can see your friends and family start to go through it. There's a great awakening happening during this age of Aquarius, when Pluto's in Aquarius. And that is the collective that chose to go through the awakening together. The light workers that have come before this great awakening had to go through it mostly by yourselves. So it's a different energy, but you chose to go through it yourself, or you chose to go through it with the collective. Whatever it is, your experience is your own. But at this time, there's going to be great pleasure, which contradicts what everyone has been saying. I think a lot of readers have been saying, oh, something crazy is going to happen, before the election in the United States. Like, usually there's a really crazy event that happens, and we saw that like 2024 there's a lot of repeats to 2020, and we all know what happened in 2020. And then we all talk about the repercussions of what happened during the pandemic, and we're going to see the results of that now. People kind of tuning into their inner universe, people tuning into more authentic energies, uncovering truths, and kind of focusing on what they think is important, prioritizing their life based on what you think is important rather than what society is telling you is important. So there's a little bit of a pleasurable moment that happens here before things go crazy. I mean, I've also gotten in my readings that something big is going to happen around this time. That's not going to be so awesome. It's not going to look good. It's kind of a blessing in disguise, but it's like not going to look so great on the world stage. But right before that moment happens, there's a little bit of like a moment where everyone's connected, and that's a very pleasurable moment. It's kind of like a little window, a little sneak peek of what the age of Aquarius is going to be like, where everyone is going to be kind of in more of a spiritual state of mind, and wanting and curious about spirituality, and curious about like energies and frequencies and the higher power. We're kind of leading up to that, right? Energy. So we're going to get a little sneak peek of that, where everyone's going to feel like they're going to get along, kumbaya, and before everything kind of goes into chaos. It's like a little bit of like the calm before the storm is the energy I'm getting. So, but I am getting, for those of you that watch my channel, most of you are high frequency, and you know, you have a very good vibe, and you're in that light worker energy, starseed, way shower, spiritual leader kind of energy. So that's the kind of audience I read for most of the time, but I understand the value of reading for people who are maybe just awakening, or maybe are dealing with people around them who are just awakening. And so I'm reading those energies as well. Archangel Gabriel brings purification, self-discipline, will speed up ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel's diamond. Wow, I love this diamond energy. Okay. And the orange dragon, which brings soul families and communities together. Oh, how lovely. So that's the energy I'm kind of getting, like this energy of like you all come together before you split apart. And so if you're aware, if you know that there's like a 3D, 5D split going on right now. And some people believe that like no one's going to be left behind. And in my heart of hearts, I do believe like everything goes back to light no matter what happens, no matter how it looks like right now. But there, this could happen over a short period of time. It could happen over generations. We don't really know, right? Not everyone has the exact answer. But everyone who is like the best channelers, the best spiritual teachers, people who are the best energy sensitive folk and psychics, they all kind of can give you an answer, but it's only a piece of the puzzle. No one really knows for sure, right? And so there is going to be a separation of some sort. And with the 3D and 5D energies, there's going to be a separation with those who are already awakened, who are going to, start going into their soul missions and start coming together with their soul family and communities. Then there's those who are just going to be starting to awaken, and they're going to be going through the grand awakening, the great awakening together. And they chose to do that. So they're going to go through a period of healing together, finding out truths. And a lot of our soul missions is going to be helping that those awakening in the near future. And then there are those that are not going to see the truth, are going to refuse to believe in a higher power or see a higher perspective of things, and just kind of stay in their lane and kind of stick to their perspective, which there's nothing wrong with. Everyone is where they are where they are at in their spiritual journey and in their soul growth. And there's some younger souls and older souls. That's totally fine. But they're going to be kind of removed. And how that's going to happen is, there's a lot of different ways that's going to happen. But if you know, a lot of people might get triggered. So I'm going to not mention it in this specific reading, since I am putting this on my main channel for the first time. But these are the kind of readings I used to do on a separate channel, which are really, really the highest level spiritual channelings I can bring forth in these readings. And so I'm going to gently bring this information to the public, to my bigger audience, little nuggets, a little bit at a time, and also give the information to those who are like spiritual teachers yourself, and people who are going to be spiritually guiding those in the future. But but pleasure and bringing families and communities together and purification. So this is going to be a pure, wholesome moment. You're going to see in September. You're going to see family. You're going to see old friends. You're going to see old things from your old life, things from your childhood. And you're going to see it with like new eyes. It's going to be a little bit more bittersweet and nostalgic. You're going to see what you're going to be leaving in order to go into the more 5D life and the 5D lifestyle. But this time you're going to handle it with a lot of like strength and courage. You know what you're going for now. You know what your life is changing into. You've made space in your life to allow for these huge, massive changes to come into your life. You're ready for the 5D. And you and your family who might be just awakening or just started their journey are going to be for one moment in the same place. Before you jump into the 5D, you're still kind of transitioning out of this 3D, which is a Pluto transit, right? And your family is kind of there, or your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors. Those are just kind of starting to awaken. You're going to connect in the same place, in the same plane of existence, same consciousness place for the first time, and you're going to see this like wave of love go through the planet in September. Wow. And it's going to be very, very pleasurable. And this is like when you're going to see a lot of manifestations start to come through for those in further along their journey. But those even who are just starting their journey, you're going to be so happy to understand who you truly are and where you are in terms of your energetic power, how powerful you are on the higher planes, your soul, your spirit. And that's going to be very pleasurable in starting the spiritual journey. So it's kind of funny. The spiritual people are getting physical manifestations, and the very physical people are getting highly pleasurable and nice spiritual manifestations. So, it mirrors that way. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a quick clarifier for how this looks for the spiritual folks. 6 of Snow, just a 6 of Swords, when to fly. Yeah, so the light workers are ready to kind of fly and kind of take off. You're going to be feeling this. Light workers, way showers, starseeds, if you have been kind of feeling like you're about to kind of change your life completely, maybe move to a new place, maybe come into really good opportunities, or meet the love of your life, or a really good soul family, or move to the right community that's like-minded, that you're on the right path. Like you know exactly that what's going to be coming through, or that big massive changes are going to come through, and you're getting more and more clarity about it at each passing day. So you're going to know you're coming into like a last reunion with the people who may be kind of exiting your life for a period of time, for a short period of time, just so you can kind of fully settle into the 5D life. Wow, King of Cups. Yeah. For a lot of you, you're going to be meeting your divine counterpart. You're going to be meeting your soul family, your soul friends, platonic soul friends. And it's going to be a very pleasant time for you. And all your abundance is going to stem from people. So the connection you're making. So your financial abundance, your the right home setup for you, whether it's to move or to kind of set your own home up better with repairs, or to make it more better for your day-to-day routine, or this new day-to-day routine that you're adopting in your new 5D lifestyle. Living a life that's more authentic to yourself, enjoying your hobbies more, having a good work-life balance, and just being around people who are on your same wavelength. You kind of need it right now. Light workers are going to definitely need that while they move into the 5D, just to kind of set up shop. You're still new to this, and you still kind of have to figure it out before you can go help the other people. You have to put your own mask on before you put on the mask of the person next to you. So right now, light workers, you're going to be told to kind of leave the people behind who are just awakening, or who aren't on your wavelength just yet, And that might be tough, but you're ready. You know this test was coming. You know you're ready. You know you're so empathic and you love people and you like to help people out, and it makes you so sad to not be there for people and help them in their time of need. But this time you are prepared, light worker, because this is your calling. You need to step into 5D. You need to set up your own home before you go help other people come in, you know? So that's what you're gonna see here. And what about for the more physical folks? 9 of Clouds, anxiety. So we see the 9 of Swords here. Yeah, and so it's, you know, before you leave, Lightworker, you're going to give the people who are just awakening your love, your support. Tell them, like, it's going to be okay. Give them all the basics. Give them the lowdown. And then basically be like, you know, if you need me, I'll be here. But this is something you got to go through. This is something you're going to have to let the collective that chose to experience this experience together go through. They have to go through it. And there's nothing you can do. And it'll just kind of suck if you watch. You've gone through it already, but you had to go through it alone. This is something you have to let them go through. Yeah, well, okay, so let's see. Expansive. May you connect to the whole. Yeah, see? So this is kind of their last, this is them connecting to the Lightworker grid, which the Lightworkers have been kind of setting up for a while now, but there's like this kind of grid of energy that the Lightworkers have kind of set up in the last few years. And I'm not talking about the grid around the world. I'm talking about like the Lightworker grid, which connects Lightworkers to other Lightworkers, which is going to bring in your soul family. The newly awakened folks, they're going to be able to connect to a higher power. They're going to be able to connect to you guys, the light workers, the way showers, for a little while, to kind of get the download, to kind of, because it's overwhelming. There's a lot of people awakening, right? It's like the entire collective, or most of the collective. And so it's overwhelming. So you are there to help in the beginning, light worker, but at this time, they just need to kind of go at their own pace. And they're going to feel so much happiness connecting to people from a higher perspective, from a higher level of consciousness. But it's overwhelming, and you kind of connect and then you disconnect, you connect and you disconnect until like you kind of get a hang of being at that higher frequency, you know? And so I feel like you're going to be there when a lot of people connect for the first time, or the initial times that they connect. And so it's gonna be really, really happy, but it's like, you know, followed by a lot of like, what did I believe? Like, what was I doing? Like, how, like, you know, a lot of disbelief and a lot of like coming to terms with things, a lot of like recognizing how much they have to heal within themselves. And it's a lot to take in, right? All right, so let's move into the second energy. What else is going on for the collective? All right. So what's the next big energy happening in September? The 9th house. Interesting. Spiritual growth. Yeah. And it came out in reverse, which is interesting because I was like, I'm seeing that there's a lot of intense energies coming onto the planet, which is allowing a lot of people to kind of step into their more spiritual roles. And so if you've been very spiritual and been doing your inner work, and hey, you could be someone who's just very close to nature and not know any spiritual terms, but you can be very, very spiritual, very, very connected, you know? Or you can be someone who meditates and does yoga and does all the typical spiritual practices, right? When I say spiritual, I mean you're connected. You're connected to your true authentic self, and you're connected to a higher power, whatever that is for you. So, so this really intense energy that's been kind of coming in a little bit at a time, and then really intensely this year and last, just really heavy energies that allows the collective to kind of step into their more spiritual side. So if you've been more spiritual, this is really comfortable for you. You're like, I'm ready. Let's go. What's next? You know, let's set up my new home in the 5D. Let's meet my soul family. Let's get on this soul mission. Like, let's get some stuff done. But just so you know, a lot of people on this wave that awakened around 2011, 2017, around the 2000s, you're still, you're still kind of be kind of like this teenager energy when you're stepping into the 5D. You still kind of have to like get used to things. In one of the recent readings that I did, I mentioned that like the only time that you've been consistently in a really high frequency energy is probably when you were a kid, if you had a good childhood and were playing, in that imaginative, the creative, imaginative state of mind, and you're playing and you're having fun and you don't have any worries or stress, and you just were very connected to the divine. A lot of people don't have experience being connected to the 5D for extended periods of time besides when they were a child and played. So that's kind of like the energy of pleasure. That's kind of why a lot of light workers are playing right now and just kind of, having fun with the people that they're meeting. People are the key here. People are the opportunities, the abundance energies, prosperity energies that's coming through right now. Soul mission energies, life purpose energies, all through people. So right now for light workers, it's people that you're connecting with that's helping you get into this 5D energy. But if you're not used to that spiritual energy, it's gonna take a minute. And usually when you're hit with a lot of spiritual energy at first, the universe wants you kind of stick with it. So they'll give you like fun things to look at, like nice, enjoyable things, like interesting spiritual things that you've always wondered about, whether it's like aliens or whether it's about, the pyramids or, after like near-death experiences, what happens after death, how was the universe created, or, what was like Atlantis like, or Lemuria, or, were there giants back in the day, are there Sasquatches, like whatever you're interested in that's like paranormal or kind of spiritual, like that stuff is going to come up for a lot of the collective. Because like they're gonna give you the fun stuff, the interesting stuff first, right? Tarot, astrology, like all that kind of stuff first, right? And then to kind of keep you in meditation, all this cool visuals, like everything, science synchronicities, like crazy, It's basically like what it was for you, beautiful divine soul, when you awakened. But it lures you in with all the interesting stuff. But then you're going to realize, like, with the spiritual journey, you're going to have to go back and do a lot of healing work, do a lot of inner work, right? So that's what you're going to see a lot of the collective is going to be doing or starting. But while that's happening, the people who are already used to this spiritual energy, you're going to be loving this time. It's like for the first time in a long time, or for your entire life, that you're going to feel really comfortable and feel like you're around your people. Feel like you're living life the way you're supposed to live it. So it's going to be very pleasurable for the whole collective, this energy in September. Celebration, wow, yeah, this you're gonna see like a lot of people in the spiritual community and a lot of people who are just have like really good like really divine, really creative interests also come together and celebrate. This is music, this is art, this is anything that to do with creativity, whether you're in architecture or whether you're in storytelling and writing novels or creating movies and stuff like that, or even like in the healing industries, healing line of work, if you're a therapist or if you work with teas and herbs or plants, like anything to do with nature, anything to do with animals, art, music, anything to do with creativity, anything to do with connecting with others and helping others, like those are the things that are going to pop off in September, or start to, or have the intention to. You're going to see people have this intention to want to create a better world, and then you're going to see people get slapped down, and that's like the dark energies out there that are going to be cleared out in this next age of Aquarius, right? It has been clearing out. We wouldn't have gotten to this point of the Great Awakening if it hadn't been cleared out to a point already, with enough good people out there holding really high frequency energy. So it's enough to start this domino effect. So that's great that we have this kind of like party. Like I kept saying, like light workers going on vacation, light workers like partying, finally enjoying the physical things in life, because a lot of physical manifestations are going to start coming through for light workers. And so while we kind of close out this like 3D life, which is going to go into 2025 and maybe 2026 too. I haven't like done readings past 2025 yet, because there's just so much happening every month right now. But a lot of light workers are getting physical manifestations, like huge, big ones, like big job opportunities or big houses, big money opportunities, big like romance and soul family opportunities, like big physical manifestations are happening for light workers. Well deserved, and applause to you from above, beautiful light worker. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, it's kind of like you get to enjoy like the physical things that you've always wanted to enjoy or wanted or felt like you couldn't have or always had to work hard for easily now. So whether that's vacations or having the good relationships or being in the line of work you've always wanted to work in, or having the type of clothes and material things that you always wanted, like whatever your physical desires were, physical like wishes for physical things, those are, you're going to enjoy those before you go into your 5D life fully in the 3D way, in your 3D, the way that you wanted to in the 3D way. Okay, but for how this looks in your life physically, how this is going to look in your life. Soulmate, yeah, see, I'm saying like a lot of you are meeting your divine counterpart at this time. You're going to see a lot of love enter the world at this time. It's going to be like, you're going to get a glimpse of this age of Aquarius. And literally, you're going to see people sitting out on the grass, like meeting other people, really including people in groups and like wanting to like connect with more people, connecting to their neighbors more, wanting to share what they have, whether it's their ideas or their food or their culture or their wisdom or lending their ears, wanting to hear people out. You're going to see a lot of this, like what's going to happen at Age of Aquarius. You're going to see a glimpse of that now before it's kind of like shot down, and whatever this negative thing that's going to happen at the end of this year, like it's like the dark energy is like last shot kind of. They're already on their way out. They're already mostly like gotten rid of, but like they're gonna fight tooth and nail till the end, right? And so like this like end of the year, you're gonna see this energy, this Age of Aquarius, where people are getting along, like the idealistic, like the energy that you've always hoped for and wanted. You're gonna see a glimpse of that, and then you're gonna see it shot down. I'm getting, ooh, I don't like that, but let's see. What is this gonna look like on patience? Yeah. A lot of you that were in like the twin flame journey or something similar, or kind of like, you know, you found the kind of career that you wanted to go into, but it's going to take a lot of patience for you to get it. You kind of figured out the kind of love that you wanted and deserved, but it's going to take you a while to get it, to become the person that is, you have to become that person, right? Like if you wanted that your twin flame, you had to become the person that you feel was deserving of that twin flame, you know, or you had to become what you liked about your twin flame so much. You get to become that energy, right? And same with your career. If you found like, if you had like a really difficult passion in life, like you wanted to run a really ultra successful business, or you wanted to become like a movie star or whatever, like something really like difficult to do or achieve, like you had the patience because you knew this is what you had to do. You knew this is what you wanted to bring into the world. This is a really deep passion project of yours. You had the patience. You never gave up. It was always something you worked on. You're going to see that energy in both highly spiritual people and also people who are newly awakening. So this is why like the highly spiritual people and the people who are just awakening are connecting a lot at this time. Even though you're at different places on that journey, like you have the same mindset finally. You're kind of connecting on that higher level of consciousness, coming from a better place in your mind, like coming from a more pure divine place. How does this look for ultra spiritual people? 6 of Swords. Okay, so we got the 6 of Swords twice now for you. Transition. Really, really highly spiritual people, leaders, star seeds, light workers, light bearers, light warriors, wherever you want to call yourself, like you are in that transition period. See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I've been getting this for a long time. Like light workers are going to be leaving, and whatever that is for you. Maybe you just put on super big boundaries with people who are not on your wavelength, so you can kind of set up your own home and set up this new life before you help others. Or it could be that you just completely cut off people and whatever you need to do to take care of yourself and your well-being. Maybe it's your old workplace, or maybe it's friends and family that you kind of need space from, or maybe it's the place that you are living, or whatever it is, like whatever you need to kind of put up big boundaries on, or completely cut off for a little while, and within reason. Like if it's your friends and family that love you and like want to care for you, like you have to like be responsible, right, in these situations. If it's like workplace that you're a manager, or there are a lot of people that were under your care, like you want to do it in the right way, kind of thing. You want to do all these things responsibly, or that makes sense for your situation. But it does feel like light workers are going to be leaving, but before they do, there's like a really sweet, beautiful moment. I thought it was going to be scary. Like I thought it was going to be like not pretty. I thought this whatever dark thing is going to happen, I thought it was going to happen starting in September, but it seems like September is going to be really beautiful. You get this last bit of like kumbaya, let's like make love not war energy, and I love that. That's great. It's gonna give people hope and like show people like the potential and what we all want, and whatever happens that's negative later after this energy, after September, it seems inevitable. You kind of have to break things in order to create something new from that same old energy. So it's going to look unpleasant, but it's going to be necessary. And I think a lot of you already know that. But yeah, for light workers, let's see. Yeah. Reunion. This is the 6 of Cups. Look, 666, which is a beautiful number of reunion. I kind of wonder why they put that specific number in the Bible to mean that specific thing. And if you look at it, 6 is a beautiful number of harmony, of like family love, of reunion, of abundance. If you look at it, 6 is a number of the physical realm. So if you keep saying the number 666 is bad, guess what you're saying? You're saying that physical abundance is bad, prosperity, monetary abundance is bad, that like relationship with certain people is bad, like having reunions is, so like you had to kind of rework to see the divinity in each thing, like divinity in each number and each animal and each person. It's like so you have to kind of unlearn some things and get to the deeper meaning behind things, or find your own meaning for it. I always say that like 5 is a number of change, right? And then you go to 6, which I feel like is a number of like the physical realm. And then from the 6, you have to go to the 7, which is the spiritual number, right? And also intelligence and connecting to the Akashic records and the intelligence and the light, the wisdom of all. So how can people go to 7 if they can never get through 6, And so, yeah, look at that. Like, there's physical abundance coming for light workers, and that starts with reunions of all kinds, romantic unions, soulmates, platonic soulmates, people. You're going to recognize people from past lives. You're going to recognize people that you've incarnated with many, many, many times, or you have a past soul connection with. Even if you're not someone who believes in reincarnation, like for example, if you're Christian or Muslim, like, and you believe that like time doesn't exist on the other side. So you can literally be living a past lifetime and a future lifetime at this exact moment. If you also don't believe that souls fracture themselves to incarnate, like basically what I'm saying, we're all soul, source energy, fractals, pieces of it. That's our soul. And then our soul kind of breaks off into smaller pieces and to live in as spirits in these individual individual lives, these individual meat suits. And we all come back to the soul, we all come back to source energy. But basically, you remember people from other lifetimes or other even lifetimes in other planets, or maybe even other beings. Anyway, so those are the soul family that you're going to be connecting with at this time. Light workers, you've done so much work and you're probably wondering why you haven't been connected to these people. It's because the energy on the planet wasn't right yet. So you've done all the work, the energy is right now, and you're going to be connecting with a lot of people that you have a stronger connection with than just your biofam or soulmate connections you've made in your life thus far. You might have, you're on this track if you notice that you like things or dislike things that you recognize are from other lifetimes. It's like, oh, you hear this kind of music. It's like, I really like that music, but I've never liked it until this specific period of my life. Or I really love this plant or this food, but it's so weird. I don't know where I get that from. Like, it's not something I've ate in my life or something that's in my ancestry, or, you kind of figure it out. Like, you notice that things are coming up in your life, and it has been, that are likes and mostly likes or interests that you have. Even like spiritual gifts that are from other lifetimes. But yeah, you're going to be coming into connection with people that you know on such a deep level, way deeper than anyone that you've met in your 3D life in this lifetime. Okay, even though you've met some soulmates that you're like, oh, I think I met them in a previous lifetime, or we had a thing, we karmic or whatever. Most of them were karmic. All right, so the people you're meeting now, they're mostly soul fam. And that's where your abundance starts. That's where a lot of this new 5D life stuff starts for you. Beautiful light worker. Okay, so let's see what this looks like for those that are just awakening. Yeah, 9. So we see the 9 of swords here. We see the 9 of wands here. So you can see that the collective, it's kind of a pleasure pain kind of situation. Where it's kind of like they're so happy to connect, but they're so happy to see the truth, but it's difficult to see the truth. You know what I'm saying? They're so happy to get clarity, but some of the stuff that they're getting clarity on is tough to digest, if you get my drift. Let's see. How else they might be feeling this energy. The Page of Cups. Yeah, see, but like what I'm getting is they're open to the idea. I'm feeling like they're very sweet. In the I think August energy update that I did, I channeled messages about how these awakening people, they're gonna be so sweet. They're going to be like, oh, I acknowledge your spiritual wisdom now. Like, I understand the truths that you were trying to tell me, or why, like, the authentic energies that you were trying to show me about yourself and your life and what you believe and your perspective and the perspective of these other folks that are in a similar spiritual wave or have similar interests to you. They're going to be so, like, nice to you now. These people who are awakening, they're going to be, like, acknowledging your wisdom and your light. It's going to be hard not to shine your light, spiritual soul. But at the same time, they're going to be a little bit like fickly, because they're going to be like, oh, but I don't know if I believe in this. Like, it's going to be hard to kind of swallow some truth and come around to some bigger concept. It's going to be like, it's going to cause a lot of cognitive dissonance for people, where it's going to take them a while to kind of like come around to some big changes in beliefs, in their belief systems, and how they think and what they believe, and how they feel about that, and how they feel about their past version of themselves, and like, being easy on themselves and being easy on others, and like kind of understanding the truth about themselves, because the amount of truth that you can see out there is the amount of truth that you can see within yourself. So you can show someone like so much evidence of something, like undeniable proof, and if they can't if they're not self-aware, if they can't see the truth about themselves, they're not going to be able to see the truth about anything else. So it starts from within. So that's why you're going to see them a little bit fickly. They're going to be so nice to you, but then they're going to have like days where they're just going to be like, oh yeah, like I don't know if I believe that completely. You know, when you're in a conversation and you're like so like wrapped up in it, and then like the next day you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I actually do believe that. I just think I was just kind of in it because the other person was speaking so passionately about it, you know. So that kind of a feel. All right, so the last energy here that we're going into, the last main energy of September that we're going to look at. Manifestation. I absolutely love the amount of confirmation that we got from my beautiful kindred divine souls out there, my soul fam. I'm so happy to be able to confirm these energies for you, for us, for our tribe. Manifestations, physical manifestations, yes, and 100,000% yes. In September, you're going to start to see this, okay? Let's see. Grief, accepting loss, and it came out in reverse. Okay, so this is something you've been prepared for, light worker. If you know, you know. There are going to be people who are going to be starting to exit. They already started to. If you know, you know. They already started to exit. It's a difficult topic of conversation, and I'm gonna tread lightly and bring it up very gently on this channel. It's kind of why I decided to go with this new format, so I can like kind of like let you know what you can expect in the channelings and let it not be not trigger anyone, and just kind of gently relay the channeled information in a way that like fits the energy of my viewers, of the beautiful divine souls that I'm lucky to connect with. But you're gonna start seeing souls exit. Okay, it's a very difficult thing, but if you've been really consistent in your spiritual work and your inner work, and you're further along your spiritual journey, like you're prepared for this, it's gonna look ugly out there. So I do get like some sort of like towards the end of September. So I'm getting like during like I feel like after the equinox energy, like things start to kind of switch. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna pull clarifiers in a second, but let's see what the physical manifestation of this will look like. This energy. Yeah, okay, so you know what else I've been saying for a long time? This whole year and last year or two, and for years, it's like when this awakening starts to happen and it's like negative, awful events start to happen, that looks awful, but to be honest, like there needs to be a little bit of breaking down of the old systems in order for the new ones to come through. And it's not going to look pretty. And light workers, a lot of us are empaths, and so it's difficult for us to see people in pain or suffering energies or discontented, disappointed, and tough energies. And so that's why light workers at this time are kind of also being told to kind of separate from the other collective that are just awakening right now, because you don't have to go through it. You already have, and this is something they have to go through, and they're not going to be able to help them. There's nothing you can say or do that's going to be able to help them. In fact, you might just kind of trigger them more, and you might make it a little bit harder on them with your energy just being so that high frequency. Unless they come to you, unless they come to your for help, or they call you up, or they ask you for help, like you're not meant to kind of help them at this time. They're meant to go through this energy unless they come to you. And they're not going to come to you a lot, maybe a few times, maybe a little bit here and there. Maybe you can talk to a group of friends, a group of family members at a time. But yeah, you're supposed to connect with them very little at this time and allow them to go through this process, which you already have. And you know how difficult it is. So it's going to be difficult for you to stay away. But they need to go through this, and you would only make it more difficult for them because they need to figure some stuff out themselves if you're hovering over them and trying to protect them. They need to kind of break out of this energy in their own way. And unless they come to you for help, like you're not meant to overexert yourself in helping others at this time. In fact, you're going to be getting so many manifestations and opportunities. Your job, light worker, is to keep the frequency high on the planet, which is going to be very, very, it's a difficult job, but it's going to be a very necessary job during this very ugly period. Okay. So it's going to seem like kind of like, like I'm getting all this, like these genuine connections come into my life, these great opportunities, this prosperity and abundance energies, and I'm happy. And don't feel guilty. Keep the frequency high. That's your job. All right. And then how is this going to look physically? Trust. There is like this trust that happens in September when this, like, you get this peak of this Age of Aquarius energy, where the rest of the collective trusts that the energy that's unfolding needs to happen, that the truths need to be told, that the light workers are doing what they need to do for the good of the collective. So there's genuine trust here. And so you have to trust your family members, your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors, and the people around you, that they're going to get through this, and they trust that you are doing what's highest and best for the collective. There's a mutual trust going along here. You're going to have to trust them more. They might have their moments. If you kind of tell them that you're getting all these opportunities and this abundance and the love of your life just came in, or this really awesome friend or group of people or really awesome workplace or something, like, do you think in this energy that they're going to feel happy for you, or they're going to feel like they should have what you have? They're going to put an evil eye on you, or they're going to, like, not understand it, and they're going to try to leech off your energy, and it's going to be bad all around. So it's at this time, that's why another reason the light workers are meant to kind of separate at this time. It's just to kind of, like, get your abundance, keep your frequency high, settle into 5D before you lend your hand out to help the others. But they need to kind of go through this energy on their own and together as a collective, for a reason. The spirit has their reasons. Assertiveness. Stand up for your beliefs and only say yes if you really want to. Yeah, so the key point here is that, like, you're not meant to help these folks right now. Your soul mission is for the long term. It's for the long haul. You're going to be setting up major systems, new ways of thinking and behaving and interacting with others on this whole planet. You're making systemic change. You're changing completely how this world operates, because for too long, for thousands of years, it's been kind of manipulative, done for the wrong reasons, for dark reasons, and for the very few to hold power. And that's gotten really distorted and really, like, people have just, like, accepted it for too long, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse, and, like, people can't see it anymore. And that's the purpose of the awakening. And some people are seeing it, but they're just going along with it and not, like, not saying no. You can say no. You have to be able to say no. Like, I do not consent. I do not consent to being manipulated through my TV, through having so many sexual energies around, putting hormones in my food, this and that, the whole 9 yards, right? So it's kind of like people see it and haven't been doing anything about it, just, like, being passive about it, just giving consent by their choices and choosing not to do something about it, or, be proactive. And so this is what needs to happen. They need to be assertive. They need to say no. They need to stand up for themselves and be like, we're not going to take this anymore. Light workers already have, so much so that you're on your soul mission. You're going to be setting up your soul mission during this period of time, September through December. In January, you're going to go full blown. You're going to be stepping into that new career, that new job, this new purpose, this new life, right? So you're working for the long haul. So, like, things that, like, people can't conceive right now, it seems like it's just impossible. That's in, like, a utopia kind of energy. You're too delusional. That's the type of work that light workers are already working on and making it happen. The rest of the collective needs to kind of come to terms with the fact that, like, they've been disillusioned for so long, and that they need to like kind of they need to say no. You know, their soul has already said it, because during this kind of 2020 phase of this epidemic, had that happened, this pandemic, people already made choices within their souls what group they're going to go with, you know? And so this is just their physical test to stand up and say no. So this isn't going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen just in the end of 2024. It's going to go, you know, into when Pluto is going into Aquarius for the next 18 years, hopefully sooner rather than later for most people. But it's going to start around now for a lot of people. And this is also light workers needing to like only say yes if you want to. People are going to come swarming to your light because you're going to be shining your light so brightly, and your wisdom is going to show that, which light is wisdom. You're going to your love, your immense amount of love is going to show because you've been working on your energies, and you can hold more energy, which is love. You can hold more love, and you can give more love, and you can give more light to others, wisdom, and even like physical abundance. Like you're able to like connect the right people. You could be a good matchmaker. You can connect people to the right soul mission, or the right career path, or the right land, or you can help people a lot. Like with this kind of moving into 5D, your spiritual abilities are going to open up, and it's going to be very beautiful for you to kind of explore how you can be your true authentic self, work on things that you like to work on, and have the things that you like to work on help other people, and then find long-term uses for those innate abilities and passions of yours. That's the soul mission, right? But as of now, you're still kind of in this, like, for my wave, which is the 2011, 2017 awakenings, maybe a little bit even before that in the 2000s, and a little bit after that during the 2020. Usually 2020, that was kind of cusp. I consider that in this like new wave of awakening folks, because we kind of needed that really big push to awakening. So I consider that this next wave from 2020 on. But like, you know, before that, that's my wave. We are seeing a lot of people start to awaken, and we're here to help them, because like once you move up the rank in your spiritual journey, you help the people who are in your position just before you, you know? And you can help people like way under, but it's best to just help the people right under you, or just where you were at, because you still have like memory of it. This is not talking about age. This is not talking about like, it's about experience. It's about wisdom. It's about how much you have to offer. There can be people who are really good at physical energies. You know, they manifested a lot of money. They manifested big homes. They manifested a lot of influence. And then there's people who did a lot of inner work, who had to deal with a lot of traumas, who had to deal with a lot of inner work, who had to deal with a lot of challenges in their in environment, you know, external environment, and they had to go within to kind of solve those problems, those really, really dark, deep issues that a lot of the collective didn't have to go through. And so, like, you know, there's pros and cons of where everyone is on their journey. There is no like one person's better than the other. Everyone has a role to play in the divine plan and the divine eyes. Everyone's equal. Everyone's soul is equal, but not everyone's merits are equal. You know, there's some people who know more and some people who know less, and that's just the reality of things. So you're not meant to help everyone that comes through. You have your own things to do. You're still kind of in this child energy when you go into the 5D fully, to kind of get your grip on things, and you're enjoying it. You're being happy. You're in a consistent 5D or higher consciousness way of thinking for long periods of time, so long that you're basically in the 5D now. Where a lot of other folks that are awakening, they're kind of just getting into that, and so you can say no if someone else can help them. You don't have to take on every case that walks by your path. If you feel you can and you want to, or this day you feel like you're able to, help them. If not, like, just focus on yourself and your own well-being. Beautiful soul. Okay, so manifestation of abundance. Look at that. 9 of Gems. Okay, abundance. We have a lot of 9 cards here, which is kind of like endings, but like the more difficult ones, Swords and the Wands, were for the rest of the collective, whereas for the high frequency souls, the light workers, you can see it's just manifestations, that you're kind of leaving this 3D energy into the 5D energy, and you're getting a lot of abundance. But this abundance is 5D abundance, not 3D abundance. You're going to see things. You might have seen a lot of clearing out of your 3D things, like your old, like even things like your job, things that you work really hard for, maybe relationships. Maybe like you collected a lot of like good pieces of furniture and they're all like breaking down now, or you know, you invested a lot in your home and it's just like doesn't feel like the right energy anymore, or whatever it is. You probably invested a lot in your, even in your health or something. It's like everything is kind of changing, and like it's like, why? I worked really hard for this, or I really like these things, or I thought I was doing good in my inner work. No, those things are breaking down because of the 3D abundance. You're going to be receiving 5D abundance, good quality things, higher quality things, you know, organic things, organic or naturally made things, things that are made with really good design and really good purpose, really unique items. You're going to see your health change, and you know, like the quality of food, the quality of even like TV shows and movies that you watch, anything that you consume, the quality of relationships around you, the quality of the home that you live in, the quality of the land that you're on, all is going to improve. So it's going to be, it's a 5D abundance that's coming in. That's why it's like, if you're seeing a lot of 3D things leave, it's like, why did my favorite sweater, why did I lose that? It's because you're getting more higher quality things and things like that. Okay, let's see. Wrap this energy up. 8 of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, carved by time. Yeah, so you're also stepping into your soul mission. So you're going to see a lot of things change with your work as well. So you see people, and you see abundance, and you see work, and you see leaving and reunions. So you can see a lot of beautiful things happening for you. Beautiful divine soul, light workers, starseeds. So like don't you worry about this. Enjoy this time. Enjoy. I know you're kind of freaking out, like, what inner work should I be doing? How should I be helping others right now? What should I be doing for money? Like, how could I fix this? Don't worry about anything. Just enjoy this time. Enjoy the people come in. Enjoy the new connections. Enjoy the 5D abundance. Enjoy the new kind of work. It's going to come trickling in. Just be open to receive it and be grateful and enjoy it. When's the last time you got these kinds of manifestations? Maybe a little bit here and there, but manifestation on this level, enjoy it, appreciate it. Like these are the moments you want to take like mental pictures of and like remember. It might be even a good time to like have a journal to write down how much you enjoy this time, because you'll never get it back again. Beautiful soul. All right, so what about for the collective? 5 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I'm getting cease violence. Whoa. Cease violence. All right, so I'm getting this energy of, especially on top of trust. There's something about like putting faith in the unseen, like faith that things are going to work out. The collective says deciding to trust people. I think that's really needed at this time. Something's going to happen. I feel like, I don't know if it's going to be like a spiritual leader or someone who's really well known who's going to make a speech, or maybe it's a group of people or something. Something's going to happen. I'm getting that like it's going to make people believe in humanity again, believe in the good of people again, and trust that, you know, this is a good thing. The truth's coming out, and this is a blessing in disguise. This is a good thing. Like this is gonna lead to a good place. Like start fresh, start clean, focus on the important things, prioritize things for our species, for our planet, and this is a good thing. I'm getting a ceasefire. So I think a lot of people are gonna like stop. Excuse my language, but bitching about like their own insecurities and their own problems and how they're projecting that onto other people, and realize that there's other people who might need their help, who are in more dire situations, and then come together and try to help those people. It's kind of like when you're like, when you're in a really, like, if you're really depressed and really sad place, like the best thing you can do is help someone else who's in a worse place than you. And I feel like there's so much anger that's misplaced. Like, it's anger at yourself. Anyone that's angry, they're angry at themselves, right? Like, that's so very blatant and obvious. For most of the time when people are showing anger towards other people, it's as an anger that they have towards themselves. So you see a lot of that, and it's just like misplaced, and people are putting labels on things that they don't need to do. And it's like the healing comes from within. And the best way to shake people out of that is to show a situation that's going on that needs attention and love and light above anything else that they're going through. Depth, yeah. May you immerse and go deeper, yeah. Realize that, like, hey, there's like a deeper issue here. There's a deeper deeper problem that needs our immediate attention and needs our light and love. Like, what I went through is nothing compared to what this person or this group has gone through, and we need to direct our attention to helping this situation. I feel like that's why this really ugly thing needs to happen, whatever is happening in the rest of this year, so people can realize, like, oh, like, yeah, I have like maybe this anger and this sadness and all these negative emotions, guilt or disgust or whatever, all the negative emotions, fear that I'm feeling is an inward journey that I have to heal within myself from my own experiences. And maybe I'll get some help, maybe I'll take some time, but in the meantime, there is something that needs our immediate attention, and this is something that is like anyone who's of light and of love will not stand for, and that's the kind of truth that needs to come out. All right, beautiful souls. This is a really big step for me. This is me putting my whole authentic self out there. This is all of me. This is the complete me, and this is a very big step into this next chapter of my life, this next chapter of the world, this new age that we're entering into, and I'm here for it, and I'm here for you, and I'm so truly grateful to be able to connect with other high frequency, beautiful souls as yourself. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I wish you much love and light.